Rodney Clough was born and raised in the American Mormon colony of Colonia Juarez in the northern part of Chihuahua, Mexico. His ancestors were some of the first colonizers of America. He traces his ancestry back to the Anglo-Saxon Vikings to the tribe of Ephraim of the House of Israel. Rodney became interested in the hollow earth theory while working on a New Mexico farm at the age of 16, where the farm manager's son told the workers about the theory. Years later, Rodney saw an advertisement for Dr. Raymond Bernard's book, The Hollow Earth, and thereby started many years of study and research that has culminated in his e-book, World Top Secret, Our Earth is Hollow, which is available on his website, which I'll tell you about in a sec. Currently, Mr. Clough works as a computer programmer analyst and continues his research into evidences for hollow planets as a hobby. Our special guest tonight on Coast to Coast. Rodney, how are you?
Very fine.
My pleasure. Boy, I've been wanting to do this topic for years, and I'm glad you're with us tonight, and appreciate the fact, even during a holiday season, you'd spend some time with us.
Well, very glad to be with you.
The story that you were told when you were working on the farm, can you relate that to us?
Yes, when I was 16, with some colony boys, we got a job out on a New Mexico farm that was managed by my uncle's brother. And the guy that I was working with was an older fellow, also from the colonies. And one evening he told me that the farm manager's son had told him about this book that he had read, The Hollow Earth. Mm-hmm. And he commented to the boys that he thought it was an ideal place for the Lord to hide the lost 10 tribes. And that piqued my interest, and it just stayed in the back of my mind. And years later, when I saw this advertisement for the book, I sent for it. It was about 1974, around about there. And I started in earnest researching this subject ever since then, and have come up with a substantial amount of scientific, scriptural, and historical evidence that supports the hollow earth theory.
And you've supplied a graphic to our webmaster, Lex, which if everyone listening has the ability to get to their computer, we're going to be making some reference to it throughout the night. So you might want to be able to get on the coasttocoastam.com website and look at it. And by the way, Rodney's website is called OurHollowEarth.com, and there's a link with his name right on the coasttocoastam.com website. It'll take you straight to his website. There have been many theories about the hollow earth theory, Rodney. We'll talk about all of them tonight, whether who's living there, if anyone's living there. Perhaps they might be extraterrestrials. But primarily, here's a question for you. If the earth is hollow, don't you think we would have been told by it, it would have been spotted by satellites, or has it been, and they're just not telling us? And if they're not, why?
1981, I took my family and we flew to Fairbanks, Alaska. My object of going up there was to research the hollow earth to see if I could find any evidence. And I met an interesting person up there in Fairbanks. His name was John Gagne. Mm-hmm. At one time he was a radio announcer down in Juneau, the capital of Alaska. And one weekend he was out with his buddies outside the city, and they happened to notice a light up above a mountain there by them. And presently it turned red and zipped off into space. And then back on his radio station, he brought up the subject and asked if anybody had seen the UFO over the weekend that him and his buddies saw. He says that shortly after that, a woman came in to talk to him. Her name was Sylvia Darvell. He said that Sylvia Darvell had been involved in Alaskan politics from way back and had been a very close friend of Admiral Byrd. And she told my friend John Gagne that Admiral Byrd, after his Arctic flight of 1947, had come to her and confided in her what he had found up there. She said that Animal Bird flew past the ice, came to a continent covered with lush vegetation, saw a mammoth wandering along on the terrain below. She said that he says that they were presently sighted by flying saucer type craft that took control of his airplane and landed him near an inner Earth city. He was taken in and interviewed by a government official of their country, and their concern was that we had just used nuclear weapons to blow up a couple of cities out here at the end of World War II, just the year before. And the message that they wanted him to bring back to our government was that they opposed our use of nuclear weapons. He was treated very politely. He says that they were very friendly people. He said that they were large in stature, they were very highly advanced in the sciences, and that they had monorail trains between their cities, and flying craft that we have since come to call flying saucers. Mm-hmm. He was taken back to his airplane, put back in the air, and when he arrives back out on outer Earth, he reported to Washington, and he was told to not to keep this secret, not to tell anybody about it. But this story that Sylvia Darvell told my friend